This week we're going to highlight the weather trends as more of those soybeans in Argentina go through the critical pod set and pod fill stage. We're also going to look at a record pace of U.S. soybean export sales and the implication of that news, and we're going to wrap up looking at an 8-year high in November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've come back from a 3-day holiday weekend and certainly saw some price volatility on Tuesday. There's a lot going on, but we're going to first start talking about news from the USDA. Moving on now, the USDA is holding its annual Agricultural Outlook Forum on Thursday and Friday of this week, February 18th and 19th. Why is that important? Because the USDA is going to give us an updated look at the 21-22 balance sheet for soybeans. Now, this is not a survey-based estimate, for example, of planted acreage, but it is the USDA's best estimate in terms of what the models are saying today. So the trade is going to be watching this 21-22 balance sheet. Should be released Thursday morning from the USDA very closely. Let's move on now and focus on Argentina soybean weather. Our map this week, as usual, highlights the major soybean producing provinces in Argentina. We're looking at Cordoba, Santa Fe, and Buenos Aires, accounting for really about 80% of the soybean production there in Argentina. Our goal now is to highlight short-term weather trends for those soybeans in Argentina. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. And we're going to look at a drier pattern here across those key provinces over the next 10 to 14 days. Now, this is not a catastrophic drought situation, as we'll see in a moment, but as we move into these final days of February and into early March, it becomes more critically important. Moving on now, we're going to quantify that over the next 14 days. You can see how dry it is, in some cases intensely dry over those areas. So the market has at least taken note of this as we move past the midpoint of February. We're going to take a little closer look now at the longer-term moisture trends in Argentina. Now, once again, this slide is courtesy of T-Storm Weather, but you'll notice that at the bottom of this table here, it's Argentina soybeans highlighted the last 7 days and the last 14 days. Really, the high topsoil and the topsoil moisture has become more dry. About 75% of those beans are dry. Now, but look at that last 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. Particularly the last 30 days, the subsoil moisture really shows that only about 25% of the beans are in some type of dry stress at the moment. And so really we've got some good soil, water holding capacity of those soils in Argentina. So I just want to caution that even though it's becoming dry, that they do have some reserves, if you will, in the subsoil. Let's move on now and focus on the short-term weather forecast. Now again, we're looking at the next 14 days here. We're looking at the past 30 days here, and you can see that across those key provinces, it's really close to normal. Again, this is the last 30-day time period across those key provinces. So it's been dry recently, but you extend the horizon and it hasn't been as dry. So we'll keep an eye on this for you moving forward. What we want to do now is move forward and look at the export sales pace for soybeans. We're looking here at sales of 2.185 billion bushels here. Now that's as of early February. Why is that important? Moving on now, remember that the USDA is only forecasting 2.25 billion for the entire crop year. So looked at another way, as of early February, the U.S. had already sold 97% of its annual forecast. So this is why the market is watching closely to see, number one, if there's any further delays to the Brazilian soybean harvest. Number two, will we eventually see some cancellations on these sales, or does the market have to do some more work here to encourage more imports? A lot of moving pieces there, but we strongly encourage you to continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement. Let's wrap things up this week looking briefly at trends in November soybean futures. And we continue to emphasize this slide, and for good reason. At over $11.85 a bushel, November soybean futures are trading at the highest level for this time of year, mid-February, in 8 years. You have to go all the way back to the February of 2013. So again, strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor. There's a lot of movement that could take place in this market between now, this base crop insurance period in February, and when that harvest price is set in October. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with our risk management consultants. We'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.